So I'm Ellie Godbold. I am the writer and director of the film Battu.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Cross and I worked on Battu.
Hello, I'm Chase Kerrigan. The film I worked on was Battu.
My name is Amari Polk and I worked on Battu with Ellie, Kaylee, and Chase.
I actually wrote the script for Battu the day after last year's CAMALS. I just had this idea for one shot, and then I built this whole world, this whole story around that one shot, and I've been planning and making this movie for almost a year now.
I chose that film to work on because I could tell that Ellie, the one who wrote it, was really had a good image for what the film was to be.
Ellie is amazing when it comes to directing. She knew exactly what she wanted to do.
Our director and also my best friend Ellie wrote it right next to me a year before we ever started producing it. I was always really drawn to the script and the shot ideas that we discussed, and it always just sort of had a little special place in my heart as I witnessed the entire evolution of the film. From Ellie's first idea to when we finally started filming. I was really just drawn to the concepts that we had talked about together.
When it came time for us to read Ellie's screenplay, I actually really liked it. It had those dramatic elements in it. One being the fight between Margot and her mom, another the fight between Margot and Bex, and then there was also the punching the mirror scene that we were supposed to film but didn't get to film. And it wasn't actually punching a mirror. We were going to throw a hairbrush at a mirror and we were going to get one, so we weren't destroying property. So that's a thing. Clarification.
On the film, I was really just like the sound guy, and I would put in my 2 cents every once in a while.
We originally were all female crew, and then a group split and we gained Chase Kerrigan. So he's our sound man.
I held the boom a lot.
So that was good. It was a good add to the group dynamic for sure. As the cinematographer, I look at the shots before we start filming. I've always really been drawn to cameras and cinematography, photography in general. When we would stop filming or take a break, I would immediately plug my SD card into the computer and just watch what we just filmed, because I was actually so proud of what we did. And I'd never really felt like that with a CAMALS film before. But this year I have equipment that I worked really hard to get. Shots were coming out just exactly how I envisioned them. I was just so thrilled that I could be so involved with this film and actually turn the script to life, basically.
Hey, how's work?
Long, difficult. Where are the kids?
Mom!
So I was the one who put everything in its place. I put all the scenes together. The editor.
Should I use past tense? That's so sad. I direct the actors' performances on set. I work with the cinematographer and how we think visually we can tell the story in the best way. Work with the editor and same thing, make sure we can tell the story in the best way.
I worked on audio and I worked on editing. I should actually say that. Even though the boomstick was very big and unwieldy and I hate it.
Run it again, Margot. 6, 7.
Actually, I was just about to head out. I gotta go help my mom.
You need to make this solo your top priority.
I would say the greatest obstacle working on Battu would be casting.
Finding the right actors for it.
We had to find specific actors.
I see this is taking a toll on you, huh? Bex, you have the solo now.
It's not your solo anymore.
Casting for us took almost, I want to say, a month. We had over 20 auditions, maybe more, of actors and actresses that we had gotten off of a casting website.
I had to call people. I don't like calling people.
And also names that referred to us from our lovely producer Beth Brevant, that she very kindly gave us.
It's a pretty dramatic movie, so we really needed someone to actually like portray what we wanted to find, or what we wanted to be portrayed.
And it was kind of difficult pinning down people who would A, act in a drama and be good at it, and B, just have the right, it's hard to explain, just have the right way about you, you know? It was hard to find people that matched the characters that I had written. But eventually we did, and we have this beautiful cast, and I'm so grateful for them.
The best part about working on the film was like seeing Ellie like work on the film that she was so passionate about. So
Ellie was very accommodating to other people's ideas when something wasn't necessarily working out. There was a shot where Kaylee really wanted to do a thing where Melnick walks into the camera and then like she walks out of it. Originally Ellie was like, I don't want to do that, but Kaylee was like, no, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. And she let it happen. And when I was in post-production, I was like, actually, this is kind of cool.
Let me do it again, please. I know I can do this. I promise I can do this.
What did we say about making promises you can't keep?
I'm just tired. You have to let me try again.
I don't have to do anything. I can't have you compromising my show.
The best part about working on this film was seeing something that I had written on paper come to life. I don't think there's a feeling that really describes how awesome that feels. Specifically, there was this one time when our editor, Amari Polk, had our first scene ever edited, and it was the scene where Whelan is getting chewed out by Melnick.
Back in. Keep your back legs straight. No wobbling. In, out, in, out, in, out. Stop. Waylon, you will not participate in rehearsal today. Go to the back, do it over and over until you get it right. Go. Front, side, back, down deuce. Stop crying, nobody feels sorry for you.
We had never seen them, like we'd only been filming a few days, and she had this scene, our very first scene fully edited, and she showed it to me and Kaylee, and I just freaked out. It was exactly what I had imagined in my head when I wrote that scene. It was like it came out of my brain and I was watching it on screen. It was so crazy, and that's a really rare thing to have when you make movies. It was the best. That was probably my favorite memory.
Even though I was not the director, this was the first time that I was able to say something out to people, and I felt like I was actually heard because of my personality on set. Okay, I'm gonna be back here holding the boom mic, doing the audio, I'm good, and just doing my magic in the post-production. It was probably the time that I felt the most comfortable on set.
The script changed multiple times from the first read through, we gave actors different versions of the scripts, which is really unprofessional.
I understand that. It's just I have a million things to do
Just
and
what? We all have a million responsibilities, but you chose dance.
We wanted to write in more emotion with our main actress because you don't really actually, you didn't really see much from her in the beginning. And then our director wrote in a few more lines that could have the audience connect with her more. And we changed a few lines from our dance teacher, who's Melnick, and made her somewhat more sympathetic in a way, but also still really mean, so that you were just like, wow, I just really hate her.
You know, at some point, you're gonna have to do something besides dance.
Mom, that's not really an option right now. I mean, I'll try to find some extra time in between rehearsals, but it's just my new director. She's intense.
I wrote the story, so I had a way of looking at it. But once you collaborate with a bunch of different people, it becomes all of your vision and not just yours, and that makes it better.
Everyone working on the film did have their own input, and so that kind of changed it, kind of for the better maybe. The biggest lesson that I learned was just really how to sit back and let everyone else take charge. In last year's films, I like to be kind of part of the creative process, but it was nice to sit back and just do what I was told, and see how they took it. So
I think the most important lesson that I learned about filmmaking, just from this film by itself, is the fact that I need to do shots over and over and over again. And you may think that you see one that you really like and you think that is the perfect one, and then in post something will be wrong. I mean, we were working with mirrors in the dance studio, so it was very hard to get everything exactly in place without the crew being seen in the mirror. I think that doing shots over and over again, no matter how painful it is definitely something that I learned from this film.
I think that the lesson that I learned from doing this film is just to be more confident, whether that is scouting for actors outside of where people usually scout for actors, speaking up on set. It's just keeping on trying and doing that. I think that CAMALS overall and just media arts overall has helped me build my confidence as a person and as a artist.
We are killing it today, ladies. We're really, and Chase, we're killing it today. I think the most important lesson that I learned from making Battu is that if you really care about your movie and you're passionate about what you're doing, it shows, and the final product is 100% so much better because of it.
Whatever happens to everybody, I hope that everything goes pretty well for everyone during their college years. And I swear if I don't see Ellie or Kaylee on the big screen, then I'm going to have a fuss in my grave. Love you guys. Bye.
Ready? Yeah.
Yeah. Amari, say yeah. No.
Nope.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do another one just for safety.
Izza. Shawty like a melody in my head.
Alright.
So should I just say oh? Yeah. Oh, it goes back up, Hey, oh, and she throws it out. And then she pulls it back in. There she goes.